This is Recruitment Agency Ignition with Andy Whitehead. Helping you build your recruitment employment business fast. Using digital and automation and one-to-many systems, tools, and inbound strategies.
So the first thing I want you to do, guys, is this. I want you to get clarity on what your unit of measure is. So from the client side, what can we measure each month? So double R on LinkedIn is easy to measure. It's easy to measure. Now the next step is the conversion process. So I've had 50 appointments. Again, it could be diary bookings. What I want you to do is I want you to list now what your potential units of measure are. Now, for some of you in London, we did this. And I know that when we went through this, a lot of light bulbs went off. Hopefully you got more clarity now. But now we're going to be following up, seeing your lead metrics and seeing your conversion metrics. If you control these two, you will grow. If you don't control these two, and you don't know what your lead metrics are, and you don't know what your conversion metrics are, you're going to struggle. You probably still grow, hopefully, but nowhere near where you should be. So the first thing I want you to do is this. I want you to think about your business and your process. So when I get a client, I do this. I get a lead, I speak to them, I send T&Cs. So in that case, what happens? Our unit of measure there might be number one, might be a one-to-one telephone chat. That's one metric we can measure. The second is we send T&Cs. Third might be T&C signed. Why is that important? Well, it could be that we have 50 one-to-ones and we get no T&C sent because the call's crap. Or it could be we've got 50 telephone conversations, we think they've gone well, we sent 40 T&Cs and we get 0 back. What's happened there? What's happened there is the client's either fobbed you off, your T&C sucked, or it could be another variable. But very quickly with those metrics, we can isolate the problem. So I want you to think about what is your conversion process. Don't make it more complex than it is. Don't make it simpler than it is. You might have 2 or 3. So Brant said about Mike needs to work on his schedule. Brant's schedule, going back a couple of years, would be to fly into a city and sign T&Cs. There were a set of steps that Brant took. His process now is a lot simpler, hopefully. So what is your unit of measure? How can we measure? So I've got 100 leads, great. How many conversion, what happened? So I want you to spend a couple of minutes. What's your client units of measure? And you're going to use these. So if you look at your team member and you say you've had 50 telephone conversations, we've sent out 40 T&Cs, we've got 0 back. What the hell is going on? What are you sending them? What's going on that call? But we can isolate very quickly what the problem is, very quickly, and fix it. Or we can just say, we got 100 leads and I got no clients. Where is the control there? So we spend a couple of minutes on the client side, and then also a couple of minutes on the candidate side. So a couple of minutes on the client side, and a couple of minutes on the candidate side. And for the candidate side, it may be getting CVs in. It may be booking to your diary. It may be interviews. It could be these follow. It could be sequential. It could be these standalone. But what's your client units of measure? So we can say we got 100 CVs in. We got 50 in your diary. We thought they were good quality. We had 30 go out for interview, and we placed none. Or we placed 25 out of 30. So again, what are the units of measure for the client side? Units of measure for the candidate side. These are easily controlled. In this instance, we had 100 CVs in and we sent out 2 for interview. Clearly, we got a quality problem with the CVs. So we go back a step, back to the lead part of the process. Easy to fix. We got control. But in your business, your unit of measure will be different from someone else's. And there's no right or wrong answer here. Now, it might be when we look at your end-to-end process, it'd be a case of, hey, Steve, do you know what? We could simplify this a lot better. Why don't we just do this? So some of you, we've used automated processes to reject a candidate, but then nurture them, give them some good stuff to get referrals. But just focus on your business as it is now. What's your unit of measure or your steps for client side? And again, that might be one way. You might have another way.
Discover how to build your recruitment employment agency using one-to-many automation and inbound strategies before anyone else in your market specialization. Check out recruitmentmarketinginternational.com.